It's coffee break. Another week, another story to tell.
So what happened this week?
Oh, first of all, I had a weird experience. I was at the store earlier today, and I'm wearing this red shirt. Well, it's a long sleeve shirt, but the sleeves are gray. Mm-hmm. And then they attach to the red torso part.
Yeah.
Right? And I look across the way and I see a guy wearing the same exact shirt.
And your souls intertwined.
I don't think he noticed it, but I was like, what a weird coincidence.
That is, like, because, like, it's not, because it's a specific color combo of, because if it was all just, like, red, that'd be one thing. But the red and the gray? Wow.
I can't remember when I got the shirt. Which is like...
You should have asked him when he got it, because...
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of an older shirt, too, so it's kind of weird to see someone else wearing it.
All faithful. Yeah. All reliable.
It is a very comfy shirt. Mm-hmm. But yeah, how was your day?
Good. Busy. I streamed today. We watched Volume 5, and it was a lot of ranting, and then at the end, we saved the day by talking about better cartoons we watched growing up.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of streaming.
I have been.
That's insane.
Just got real excited about it all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to start right away with Madam Web.
Oh, what's up with them?
Well, I guess Sony gave up so quickly on this thing that you can now buy it for $20 and watch it at home.
Dang.
It didn't even wait the 45-day mark before it's available.
No one liked it. It got, like, record lows from, like, every degree. Like, the critical, like, Rotten Tomato scores.
Yes, your lead actress, Dakota Johnson, slamming it.
Yep.
Sydney slamming it. Yeah, no, I just thought it was weird that they were just like, no, you could just have it if you want it, and we don't care anymore. It's like, wow. I thought you guys were so dedicated to this whole Spider-Man thing.
Oh, I bet after the Morbius fiasco, where everyone convinced them to re-release it, I bet they're like, just get rid of it. I don't want to think about Madam Web anymore. Just put it on DVD.
Well, apparently... So I've said this before, that they're going to watch how Kraven performs, August I think is when it comes out?
I keep forgetting it's even happening.
So it sounds like they've already given up on Kraven before it came out.
Damn. Well, and they didn't advertise it. They advertised it like a year and a half before it came out.
Yeah, the strikes kind of delayed it a lot. Wait, which one?
Kraven.
Kraven, yeah. Well, yeah. We've seen more Kraven ads than we have seen for Madam Web.
Yeah, I just saw like a bunch of Madam Web ads like the week before it dropped.
I remember last year, it was like maybe November, October-ish November. I was trying to find something to write down for this podcast, and I was in Reddit, and I had learned that they finished filming Madam Web. But they had finished filming it like a long time ago. And I was like, wait, why is it just sitting there? And no one really knew much. And yeah, now we really know.
Now we know.
But I found that out, 3 months before that film dropped?
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, so what they have said is that they're going to make an animated Spider-Woman movie. Mm-hmm. They've been pretty stern about this one.
Okay.
And now, because they can never get their minds off the Sinister Six.
Of course.
Everything's been always about the Sinister Six.
They've tried over and over and over again.
Yeah. And they never actually made the movie.
No. Every baddie from every Spider-Man movie is a Sinister Six villain.
Yes.
Every single one. And the goal was always to, like, eventually they'll come together, and they've never succeeded in doing it.
They got really close with No Way Home, but still no cigar. Mm-hmm. So now they're going to animate it, which I think it would have a better chance of being a thing.
Sure.
But I think both these films are supposed to tie into the Spider-Verse stuff. So they're gonna, instead of making live action movies, I think they're just dedicating themselves to making animated movies.
I think the problem is they really oversaturated their own market immediately. Mm-hmm. Like they got a little bit of fame, a little bit of success, and then they went hard, too far, too fast. And now I personally am like, because I already had superhero fatigue, but now especially I have Spider-Man flavored superhero fatigue.
Yeah. We didn't want to start this to trash Spider-Man fans. I just wanted to point out that Sony doesn't know what they're doing. And if you were excited about this, I'm sorry.
With a little bit of caution.
Yep. Well, we can talk about a better grouping of characters. Something called the Pooniverse.
Oh yeah, you showed this to me yesterday, and I was like, "Are you?" It sounds like a Furby knockoff from like a Jimmy Neutron kind of thing.
It sounds like a derogatory term. Pooniverse.
So what is it?
So Pooh, as in Winnie the Pooh, it is Blood and Honey, right? The horror remake.
Yeah.
The horror movie of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, right?
Yes. The one that ran away with the Razzies this year.
Yes. Yes, it did. The sequel comes out this weekend.
Oh, does it really?
For like 3 days in theaters.
The one with like Piglet and
Tigger will now show up.
Yeah. The others.
All we know is just those three are so far in it.
Okay.
So the plan is with the Pooniverse to make a bunch of other really dumb horror films about beloved child book characters, and then have them all come together into a movie that comes out next year called The Pooniverse: Monsters Assemble.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually more excited now with the concept of the Pooniverse. The stupidity levels are reaching meme maximum.
Yep. And if you don't mind, there's a plane outside.
Sorry.
Yeah, the plane was here first, obviously.
You could also probably hear the dog chewing on his toy in the background.
Only top quality for you guys.
That's coffee break. It's like being in an actual coffee shop with the airplanes and the dogs.
And the bathrooms are still locked. So, the Pooniverse will feature, and there's a poster, which hopefully I'll be able to put onto the thumbnail for this. But if you look, there's a lot going on. It will feature Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, Peter Pan, Mad Hatter, Sleeping Beauty.
Which is interesting.
It is.
Sleeping Beauty has like a lot of scary things like naturally in that story.
Yes. Tinkerbell.
Yeah, that's another good one.
And Pacino. Pacinico. That's a reference to a terrible college professor I had where she could not pronounce Pinocchio.
Yeah, we watched a movie where the characters said the name Pinocchio 100,000 times. AI. Yeah, that's the name of the movie. And then she still didn't know what his name was.
I learned how to spell Pinocchio really quickly here. It's not that hard.
Also, Bambi. Isn't Bambi supposed to be in this?
I forgot Bambi. I am so sorry.
Because on the poster, Winnie the Pooh's riding Bambi.
Yes. So, like I said, there are going to be a bunch of movies to build up to this moment, but they haven't really put release dates on these.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Not everyone has a movie.
Yeah, also, I see some, like, Tinkerbell could be with Peter Pan, for example.
Yeah, that would make sense. I really didn't think about that. Pan and Tinker are...
Like, they are a combo.
Yes, but they're, not accomplices.
I would call them accomplices. Personally.
Okay, well, the upcoming movies is Blood and Honey 2, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare,
Yeah.
Bambi's The Reckoning, and my favorite, Pinocchio Unstrung.
That one is good.
He has to say it. There are no strings on me.
Is there magic in this universe?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think this got out of hand really quickly.
I appreciate their tenacity. They got a lot of ideas. Let's see if it works out.
But yeah, I still want to watch Blood and Honey.
I mean, we're talking about them. So I guess that's all they really wanted people to do.
Yeah. Again, like he said after all the Razzies happened, he's like, it's just a movie. We wanted to make a movie. Like, it's not supposed to be some great spectacle. We were just having fun with the idea.
Yeah.
And it sounds like we're just going to keep having fun. So, FX.
Yeah.
they renewed The Bear season 3
Woohoo!
quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Now apparently they've also renewed it for season 4.
I mean, after it won like 1,000,000 awards.
They plan to shoot the seasons back to back.
Okay.
And The Bear season 3 will come out next year.
Ah, I knew I'd have to wait.
Wait.
Figures.
When did season 2 come out?
Last year. Late last year.
Yeah, so season 3 will come out this year. And then even though season 4 will be done and finished, it won't come out until the same time next year.
Dang. That's okay.
The reason why they're filming it like this is because everyone's getting super busy.
Yes.
Jeremy Allen White has been doing a lot of other projects recently. Mm-hmm. Like Iron Claw.
Yep.
With Zac Efron. Mm-hmm. Cousin.
Yes.
He will play the Thing.
Yeah.
Who he probably has the biggest
Like he's
chance of success and the biggest chance of failure.
I mean, it's quite the leap from doing absolutely nothing in the acting sphere
Yep.
to doing this one random weird FX show to you're in Marvel now and you're one of Marvel's first family members.
Yeah. The Thing is a very beloved character. Mm-hmm. I would say more people like the Hulk than the Thing, and you could argue they're not the same. And to me, they kind of are because they're the big thrasher guys.
They are very similar, yes.
Though the Thing has a better grip on his emotions.
That is probably the one biggest difference between them. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's weird. Did they kind of say The Bear ends in 4 seasons?
I don't know. That's a show that I don't know. I don't think it could go. Like 4 to 5 seasons is like as long as I could think it could go for.
Yeah, me too.
Like the more I live, the more I'm realizing like the average shelf life of a show in general is not too much more than 4 or 5 seasons. Like a really good one can keep going a little longer, but the longer you go past that 5-year mark, the harder and harder it is to maintain that level of quality.
So one show I love to use as an example.
Good yawn. Yeah. Get it out of you.
is Supernatural.
Yeah.
So the first 5 seasons, especially 4 and 5, they ramp right into each other and they build up to this big climatic moment where they fight the true adversary, right? Mm-hmm. And then one of the brothers dies, and that's the end of the season, and then you find out the brother's still alive, and they kept going, and it went, 12 seasons after that?
I think more.
That's insane.
It
never, I got to season 9, and it never caught back up to that momentum.
Yeah.
There was no reason to keep fighting.
I was thinking of we recently went through like all of Friends and then all of Frasier. And like, especially with those sitcom styles, the first like 2, like season 1's good, season 2's usually really good. Mm-hmm. 3 and 4 can be amazing. 5's okay. Friends is like 6th and 7th seasons were okay, but then the last few were,
yeah,
nothing special.
With Frasier, it was just the same thing over and over again, to the point where you just realize he's a failure. And it was like you made the main character look bad. Yes,
you got so stuck in your status quo that became a plot point that he had too much of a status quo and didn't have a life. Yeah. Like the thing that blew me away was I was like, yeah, Niles and Daphne get married and have a kid. And I'm like, I remember that. And then we were watching and we were going through season after season, and I looked it up and I'm like, it takes until like season 8 for them to finally get together. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what do we do for the first 7 years?
Just deal with Frasier being grumpy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad for everyone and the success of The Bear. Mm-hmm. I hope season 3 can keep up this momentum, and filming season 4 with it, that should allow the actors to spend enough time to help it elevate. Mm-hmm. And then I guess in that year in between, and you already have it filmed, you can really just kind of re-edit whatever you need to.
Yeah, make sure you got everything going the way it like really needs to. Mm-hmm. All the painful hurts.
Yep.
Like can't wait for another Thanksgiving episode. Yippee!
I thought it was the Christmas episode.
Oh, was it Christmas? I just remember
Because it was the 7 fishes.
Yeah, I remember we were watching Ghosts, and one of the characters, like, offhand mentioned that he's Italian, so that they do the 7 fishes thing. And then I had horrible PTSD to Bob Odenkirk. He's just yelling and holding a fork.
Yeah, and the Punisher just riling him up, throwing food at him.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen The Bear, go check it out.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, when he said the 7 fishes, I thought of that episode too, and I was just like, why? The Crow.
Yeah, so we've
Okay.
mentioned it a couple of times. We knew it was coming.
I love The Crow. I have the special edition comic of it.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
Cool. I'm never gonna read it.
It's very different.
Yeah, it's a little too sad.
There was no reason to remake this movie.
No.
This is a infamous movie. It's a beloved cult classic.
I've seen a lot of people saying that it feels like we shouldn't have remade this because of in memoriam to Brendan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like why why do this?
And also, I've seen some articles like, why did you choose Eric Draven, who's the main character? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you go with someone else? Because there are other Crow movies. There are technically 4 or 5 of them.
The point of The Crow is kind of like an anthology.
Yes.
Where there's no one Crow. It's just what, like, the spirit of death helps give a person superpowers to
Usually
enact revenge.
if they die through tragedy and then they're reborn to restore balance to that tragedy.
And then once that person's done, then it's the next person's time to, like, someone else gets the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, but it's not like constantly seeking around. It's just a paranormal, supernatural event. Mm-hmm. So the trailer came out. Eric Draven would be played by Peter Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Wait.
Bill
Skarsgård.
The one who's also Pennywise. Pretty sure it's Bill. But it's not telling the story that you might recognize from the original movie.
It kind of is.
It kind of is, but it also kind of isn't.
Someone pointed out and called it John Wick.
It looks a lot like it's trying to be John Wick.
The Crow John Wick, right? A gothic John Wick. Mm-hmm. And you can see, first of all, that trailer was ultra violent.
It was.
And I was like, why was there no red band on that?
Yeah.
It didn't tell me anything and then just blood.
Also, I guarantee it showed you all the coolest parts in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
They showed you all the good bits. You don't need to bother watching the movie because they showed you the cool things.
Yeah. I'll watch it.
I'm not looking for... I don't like the fact that there looks like there's some Shazam-esque old man who gifts Eric his Shazam powers.
Yep.
He looks a lot like the guy who played Shazam.
It might be. I don't know.
He's on screen so briefly, but I legitimately was like, is that Shazam?
Yeah. The reaction from everyone else towards The Crow has been so overwhelmingly negative. Mm-hmm. It broke some new record for YouTube for being so negative.
Yeah. That's a hard record to break.
The director of the original was like, what are you thinking? You shouldn't have done this. Uh-huh. You're disgracing the memory and honor of Brendan Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Because if you want to do The Crow, like you were saying, do one of the other ones.
Just make your own.
Leave Eric as Brendan's story.
Yeah.
Because he did it perfectly, and he very sadly passed away for it.
Yep.
And it's
also ballsy that Brandon was fatally shot on set.
Yeah.
By a gun that they weren't... There were supposed to be blanks, but apparently there was an actual round lodged within it.
Yeah, that can happen.
And it went through his abdomen, and he later passed away. And then here in this new one, from this trailer, what we saw, it's gun kata.
Yeah.
There's a point where Bill's character is shooting through his own chest to shoot the guy behind him.
Yeah, it really feels just like
It's like, what?
in poor
The
taste.
guns were the problem, and they've been the problem, and even in current day history, they're a problem, and we're gonna make a movie that glorifies this?
Yeah.
That's not right.
I don't think The Crow is a story that should, especially Eric Traven's story, is a concept that exists in this day and age. I just don't think people...
People will gravitate towards it.
I guess so. People do like their John Wick stuff. And
I watched The Crow when I was in high school, and it's from the 90s, and I was able to gravitate towards it.
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. I wasn't wowed by it.
By
this trailer.
Oh, okay. I was like, you don't like the classic?
I don't like how they didn't even paint Bill Skarsgård's face right. He looks like...
Also, he has all those tattoos on him, and they made comparisons to the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker.
Yes.
So I was like, oh no. Like, we learned no lessons here, did we?
I can't wait for it to win Best Makeup.
Okay, The Accountant 2
Okay.
will begin filming soon.
What's The Accountant?
The Accountant was, I think, 2016. It stars Ben Affleck. He is the accountant. He's, how do I say it? Very special.
Is he like a spy?
No, he's an assassin.
Those are the same word in my mind.
No, they're not. They are not the same thing. And he's a contract killer, and he's really good at it. And his whole thing is with numbers. And that's why by day he's an accountant.
I'm pretty sure I've heard you talk about this movie before.
Yeah, John Benthal's in it. J.K. Simmons is in it.
Yeah.
They're all coming back to do a sequel. They said they wanted to do a sequel years ago.
Okay.
And finally they're now going to do it. And I was just like, why do we keep waiting so long to do these sequels?
It's because people express interest in seeing a sequel.
So we trash it.
But the companies don't ever listen to what people want. And then later they're like, what did people say? It's like, oh, that one was kind of popular. Do that one.
Yeah, right now it seems like Hollywood just wants to play with the Play-Doh machine, where you just kind of push it all together and smush it out. And that's your new family movie.
They just want to make the safest options. Just use names that everyone recognize. Even the new movies, like Barbie, it still relies on you knowing the name Barbie.
Mm-hmm. Which is hard to not know.
Oppenheimer. That's you need. It's not an original idea. It's a biopic or whatever.
Well, I don't think a lot of people knew about Oppenheimer.
No, but they knew about the bomb.
Well, it's hard not to know about the bomb. It is the bomb. But the sales for his book, American Prometheus, shot up through the roof because they made Oppenheimer and people were learning about him.
Nice.
I wouldn't say Oppenheimer is one of those.
I guess maybe, but yeah, like other things, everyone they're going with things that feel safe and feel like it could be a guarantee, because everything they've been trying to do that isn't a safe guarantee hasn't necessarily been working out.
Yeah, they're all remakes, sequels, or rip-offs.
Yep.
Which, now that we're talking about remakes, let's remake Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
That is going to happen.
The last one came out. I did this yesterday. Michael Myers.
Yes.
Ruined the image of the Cat in the Hat.
Yes.
For years.
The guy from Halloween.
Yes. Is Mike not short for Michael?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they have the same name.
I know. I was very confused for a long time. Because I knew Mike Myers, the comedian.
Yeah.
And then someone was talking offhand about the Halloween character. And I was like, I don't know what you're saying. Is he a murderer? Did something happen?
Yeah. They get funky up there in Canada. No, when he did the live action, God, what was that, 2005, 2004?
So I think 2004. I have a very visceral memory of it being the first movie I didn't like. where I was sitting there as a child watching it, and we hadn't even finished it yet. We were like 10 minutes in, and I had this reaction of, I don't like this. I don't want to watch this. It's bad.
He gets scary. He just looks scary in general.
He does. It's not like Jim Carrey with the Grinch.
No, and at that time I hated the Grinch.
I did too.
I've learned to like it a lot more, and I've kind of accepted it as a Christmas classic.
Yeah.
It's not the cartoon,
No.
but they're still both pretty good.
I think it's telling that the cartoon is 30 minutes.
Yes.
And they
it's
stretch
a small little book.
That's all it needs to be.
Cat in the Hat. I remember at some point in the movie, Thing 1 and Thing 2 are just trying to kill the kids.
Yeah, they were also incredibly ugly.
Yep.
And weird looking.
Yep. So they're gonna remake it. And it's going to be by Warner Brothers, which is a big, scary thing to say right now.
Yeah, Warner Brothers have been making such amazing decisions of late.
And they're going to animate it. So it's an animated feature film.
All right, this makes sense.
So no more anthropomorphic
Scary
human cats.
Man with a horrid cat face painted over him.
Yeah. And the Cat in the Hat will be voiced by Bill Hader.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually a good thing. Bill Hader does specialize in voices.
He does. You know him for more voices than you realize.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff just doing his voice.
A ton of stuff. And it's hard to tell because he's a very good voice actor.
I think one of the coolest credits he has is he's a voice consultant on Star Wars Episode 7 for BB-8.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Which is really cool. That he was the more emotional guidance in it, while the other guy was kind of figuring out the chirping sound that he makes. Mm-hmm. And then together, that's how BB-8 has... It shows emotion.
Yeah.
And like when he gets sad and he rolls his head down, you know.
Bill Hader is a surprising amount of characters in South Park.
Well, he's best friends with them.
Yeah.
And they write some episodes, or they did.
He voiced Fear in the first Inside Out movie, but he doesn't voice Fear in the sequel.
Probably didn't want to come back.
I think it's who's the younger brother in Arrested Development? The one who lost his hand? I think he's voicing him now. But I could be wrong.
Well, I can't remember his name.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Buster.
Buster?
Yeah, Buster.
Was that his name?
In the show, his name's Buster.
I just remember, Job.
Yeah, Job.
God. Good old Gob.
So the internet went into a frenzy over the week because they found out, and I don't know why this was even a thing. Apparently, the DCU,
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn's DCU, is currently working on a live-action Teen Titans.
Hooray!
This makes sense.
I'm all for it, especially if we can get Blue Beetle in there.
Yeah, he's gonna have Supergirl. The Brave and the Bold will have Robin.
Nice.
Like, you're clearly setting up to have a Young Justice Teen Titans-esque
good
feature down the way.
About time.
Also, the Teen Titans, they have never been more beloved in their life than now.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think teenagers are more interesting characters to focus on because they have, like, the crushing weight of expectation put upon them.
Yes.
And also, if they're trying to, like, hide their secret identities and, like, go to school, it's more opportunities for shenanigans versus adults who can just, like, call out of work, you know?
Yeah. Well, Suits can do it
Freelance.
so fast he doesn't have to call out, and Batman just owns everything.
I just imagine a character like Barry. He would probably, when he's not flashing, when he's not being the Flash, he would be like a DoorDash delivery person, but he wouldn't have the car. He would just run.
And mess up all your food.
He would. He'd have the worst rating, and then he'd have to become an Uber driver. And he would be very upset at the slowness of his car.
Yeah. Yeah, the Teen Titans, of course. This is an obvious answer. Everyone loves them.
Yes.
Let's go.
Hell yes.
As for the DCU, there's been some speculation that they want to cast Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman.
Yeah. There's been so much speculation. There's been a lot of talk about future things eventually happening with this DCU, whatever, but not a lot of things actually, like, being confirmed.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
So it's like, calm down, let them build it, and then once it comes here, we'll get to see what's going on.
Jake Gyllenhaal's a good actor.
Yes,
He could do it.
He was up in the running against Christian Bale.
So you told me this yesterday about the Jake Gyllenhaal thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the only movie I could think of was Donnie Darko, and I'm like, he's a good actor. Right now, I remembered he's also Mysterio.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, he is a good actor.
He also is coming out, or it might have already been released, the remake of Roadhouse.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I saw a trailer. It's a way more grittier version of it.
Yeah.
And he's straight up just beating up guys. I mean, who was in the original? Patrick Swayze? He was beating up guys, but he was usually just doing his roundhouse kick.
Roadhouse. I think it's also stunts and combat have become a bit more punchy and, like, visceral in this current era. We're back in the 90s? The 80s?
80s.
It was, like, a lot of, like, pow, wham, guy goes screaming and flying out a window.
The reason why I knew Roadhouse was because of Family Guy.
Yeah.
There's this lovely clip early on in the series where Peter's at, like, Blockbuster. Mm-hmm. And he has all these movies because he's so excited to watch them. And then down the aisle, he sees Roadhouse. And he goes, oh my God, Roadhouse. And just throws all the movies behind because that's the only film he cares about. Mm-hmm. And then when I finally got my chance to watch it, I was like, this is so dumb. I can see why Seth MacFarlane's making fun of it. But also, Roadhouse.
You can tell he's a guy who's just watched everything. He has so many references inside of his brain.
Yeah. So, yeah, if that were true with Jake, I'd be super excited.
Yeah.
There were also Marvel MCU rumors, but none of them have been confirmed. These rumors were kind of obvious things, like Ant-Man 4 is canceled. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel 3 is canceled.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Eternals 2 is being reworked into a new project.
It's actually happening. It's been years.
Well, it's not going to be called Eternals 2.
The first one was so bad. They should have just canceled the entire MCU right after that movie because it was all downhill from here. They'll never recover. I will always remember how bad Eternals is. You could deliver the best movie of all time, Marvel, but I will remember Eternals and you'll never recover.
Well, who played the original Cyclops?
James Marsden?
Yeah. He was in an interview for Sonic 3.
Oh, yeah?
And he was talking about how they filmed it on the studio next to where they were doing Deadpool.
Gonna scratch your little face.
And then he just cuts away from it and doesn't want to talk about it. And it's like, that's kind of a weird thing to bring up and then just never...
Well, I think it's safe to assume he's probably gonna be in Deadpool.
Yeah.
We'll just let him scratch himself.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see him come back as Cyclops.
It would be.
I mean, the rumors say that it's going to be Deadpool, Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and Elektra.
It could make sense it would be all the classics. And Elektra. Yeah, everyone keeps saying Elektra.
She's in it.
I don't believe that.
Why?
Because no one watched it. I watched it, and no one else
She's already
did.
confirmed. You can look it all up.
It's so... Because she's not an X-Men.
She's still a Marvel character.
So... That doesn't mean anything.
Okay. The Acolyte. Star Wars The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Just dropped its first trailer. Mm-hmm. It takes, 200 to 100 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. And it'll showcase a much younger, earlier version of the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're learning about the Sith.
Yeah.
What do you think of that trailer?
I mean...
Okay, I'll go first. It was amazing. Let's do this.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
I was reading this morning that one of the writers who's worked on it hadn't watched anything Star Wars related beforehand.
Good.
And the reasoning behind that, one of the other writers, the head writer, talked about was that they didn't want to accidentally write emotional beats that relied on references or nostalgia. They wanted an outside force who would like be able to call them out on things like that.
An outside force.
May the force be with you on the outside.
No, that makes sense in terms of writing. And now you have a person who's not a fan writing this story. Mm-hmm. And perhaps some characters won't get as much love as you would want them to. I think they're all original characters.
I think so. Like maybe Yoda might be there. Or a Yoda character.
Yodel? Yaddle?
Yaddle? Yambo? Because they're all going to have like Y names.
Apparently there's a Wookiee Jedi.
Okay, cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, who the villain is? Darth Bane?
Maybe. Is that the first Darth?
No, he's not the first Darth.
Who's the first Darth?
I don't know. Not
Darth,
that big of a nerd.
Darth guy.
Yep, Darth guy is gonna fight the Jedi.
That's me. Who's got 2 thumbs and is Darth guy. This guy. I don't know. I'm not super in love with the Star Wars universe to begin with. I just always forget that they always insist on following the same tropes over and over again. Like we saw that clip of like a Tatooine-esque marketplace where everyone's wearing their brown, oversized robes and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, again? And I was like, oh yeah, it's because everything has to look like this.
Yep.
They have 4 planets that they just repeat. It might not be called Tatooine. It might be called Blimble Scrimble, but it's gonna be Tatooine.
It's called Jakku.
It'll just have like a random extra element. Like it'll still be a desert and everyone will still look the same, but it'll be like, this is the planet that has the giant flying phoenix monster on the South Pole, and that'll be the episode
Navarro.
That they have to deal. Okay. I don't know. It looked neat.
Yeah.
I would like to see more.
Drops June 4th with the first 2 episodes. I am super excited. Maybe we'll do another garbage eggs-esque thing.
We'll see.
Like we did with Obi-Wan?
Well, we'll see.
Okay, that's a no.
I think it depends on how much we have to say about it after the first episode comes out.
It'd be 2 episodes.
First 2 episodes come out.
Okay. So I brought up Bond last time, and every now and then I do bring up James Bond. It finally happened. Yeah. Apparently, they've asked Mr. Craven himself, Aaron Taylor Johnson, has apparently been offered the role of James Bond.
Wasn't he,
He's Quicksilver.
Yeah.
In Age of Ultron.
He was also the main dude in
Godzilla 2014.
Yeah.
And he started it all out as Kick-Ass.
Wow. He's British?
Yes.
His American voice is very good.
I'm glad. If true, like, congratulations, that's a very big honor. But I'm glad that if true, they're looking for a younger actor. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of Bond being an older person.
There's always some old dude.
And you only have a limited amount of time with them when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
And also you stunt your action.
Yes, because old man can't move that much.
Yes. And Daniel Craig did a great job.
He did.
But I don't think he could do it again.
No.
He's kind of old, especially watching Glass Onion. Mm-hmm. He seemed like he was really done with doing action stuff.
Yeah, he looked like he was really having a fun time being a smart, gay Sherlock Holmes type character.
A debutante?
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 Yeah. I just, as we were talking about, like, getting old dudes not being able to do it as much as they used to, I thought of the T-2000 doing that thing where he could run really, really fast without looking like he was breathing.
That's called CGI.
No, he did it. Did you not know that?
Patrick ran like that?
Yeah, he trained specifically to learn how to run like that, to, like, sell the mechanical-looking nature of him. And he got so good at it that he was also, like, outpacing the little, like, go-kart dollies they were filming on.
Nice.
And then I, like, flash forward to him as, like...
White Dragon.
And I'm like, I don't think he could do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, good job, Aaron. If all true, there's nothing to really say, but how long has it been since the last one?
It's been a while. 3 years?
4?
Something like
5?
that? Yeah, because it took a while for us to watch it. So it might be 4 or 5 years by this point.
I think we watched it during the lockdown.
Woof. It's been a while. I just remember what we ate while we watched it.
What?
I,
Who remembers that?
it was Freddy's, and I got a hot dog.
Oh, nice. Freddy's is good. Okay. Your favorite YouTuber is going to make a competition television show. His name is Mr.Beast.
I hate him. I hate him.
And Mr. Beast has teamed up with Amazon and MGM Studios, which Amazon owns, to create this new competition. I don't know what the competition is.
Probably something stupid. Like all his
Don't
other
know
videos.
when this is coming out. All we know is that the winner will win $5 million in one paycheck.
Why team up with Amazon? He's already given out millions of dollars for his normal ass YouTube channel. Why do this whole rigmarole with the TV and like the streaming
I don't
service?
think it's him wanting to team up with Amazon. I think it's Amazon going, we want to team up with you.
All right, whatever. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't like him. I think he is a weird, creepy man. I don't think he has empathy or emotion inside of him. I don't like him.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Like
Is his fast food thing still going?
It's still going. I don't think it's getting very winning reviews or anything.
Yeah,
He was a guest host judge on a horrible Gordon Ramsay show,
Food Stars?
Food Stars. And he looks like an alien in human skin. Like he doesn't, like he just do this thing because humans do it. Say a thing because that's what humans say. He just doesn't feel human. I don't like him.
Probably so wrapped up inside his own head, he's not paying attention.
Probably.
You know?
You don't get that much money by being an empathetic, kind individual. If he wanted to give people money, he would.
Well, yeah.
But instead, he makes them do, like, jumping jacks for 100 hours.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Whoever wins is going to be a millionaire, but he's going to torture them.
Yeah, but also a millionaire, but at what cost? What's the taxes going to be?
That's a good question.
How much of the cut is going to, like, have to be taken? Because you never just get the whole...
No, you don't. You always... It's like winning the lottery. You're not going to win the entire sum. Mm-hmm. They are going to strip so much of that from you.
Yep.
You'll still get a nice chunk. But then... Yeah. I don't know what this competition is going to be.
This talk about taxes reminded me of the last episode or second last episode of The Curse, where, spoilers for The Curse real quick, it's not like a huge spoiler. They go to that guy who's been in the house.
Very descriptive.
And I don't remember his name. It was similar to Nate... I don't remember. It began with an A. I remember it was similar to Nate's name. The black fellow who's been living at that house that they've been, like, letting them live there.
The family that's squatting there.
Yeah, with his 2 daughters. And they were like, we're giving you the house. And they were all excited, like, they expected him to be all happy and excited about it.
Yeah.
And instead he's like, so what's going to happen with the taxes? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that interaction really encapsulated the differences where those two, Nate and Emma Stone's characters,
yes,
perceive the world as this fluffy kind of reality TV thing.
Well, that's what they're doing.
But everyone else has, like, is
Real
actually
problems.
grounded in reality. Yeah.
And, yeah, he was a little standoffish about that. He was not very happy about getting the house. Yeah, that became more problems, obviously, for them.
Like, did you ever hear about Oprah Winfrey giving everyone a car?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's such a cool story.
That's a way to really screw someone over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they couldn't pay for the license?
Yeah.
The insurance, and then there was some other fee that they had to pay.
Yeah, and they didn't tell them these things when they were, like, signing off on getting the cars and stuff.
Yeah.
It just screwed a bunch of people over.
Because she gave them the car.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't pay everything else. Apparently she did it later on where she actually did pay everything off. So you do just get a free car.
Yeah, well, that's nice. But, yeah.
I bet it was a smaller audience.
I bet it was a smaller car.
Just giving out what are those, mini cars?
Yeah, those, like, 2-seater electric ones.
So, yeah, Mr. Beast is, I guess, here to stay.
Sure, I guess. For now. I'll lie in wait. I guarantee there's gonna be some big thing, some big pop-off, some big reveal, some scandal, and I'll be the first one to be like, I knew it!
You think there's...
I told you there was something creepy and weird about him!
You think there's skeletons in the closet?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Like, look at his face. That's not the face of a man I'd trust. I wouldn't trust my drink around him.
Nice. One thing I wanted to talk about is Sandland. The demo came out.
Yeah.
I did a little power on there. Mm-hmm. The demo just drops you in it. You don't get any story. It's just like, it's free play. Just go roam around.
A good way to test the gameplay, which is how demos should work.
Yeah, I was kind of curious what the story was, but I guess if I read the manga, I would know. It was a really fun RPG.
Yeah.
You run around in different mechs or tanks or a motorcycle. You got guns on it. You got 2 companions.
The way you were talking about it, it sounds like Pokemon, but instead of monsters that fight, it's various, like, machines for fighting with.
Yes, and you get to upgrade them and swap out armor and stuff. And you're just going around the Sandlands looking for water and supplies.
Cool.
I liked it.
Yeah.
The designs, the character designs are obviously great.
It's Akira Toriyama.
The monsters were great.
It's weird that it's not being marketed more, given his recent passing.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that, because I was like, it kind of just appeared. I didn't even know it came out. I just turned on the PlayStation Store and saw it, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun to try.
Yeah, I thought it was coming out, like, next month or something. I knew it was soon, but I didn't know the demo was dropping right now.
But if you want to see what it is, I got some footage right there for you to check out.
Yeah.
It also reminds me a lot of Badlands. Just the emptiness of just going around, killing things, getting gear and stuff. Nice. Very much in that essence.
Like a survival, almost.
I wouldn't say too much like survival. Like, you have health, which is just water. He drinks water.
Nice. What a shame that your health is just water and you're in the desert.
Yeah, I think that's...
If I landed in the ocean, I'd be set.
I think that's why he's there. Because they ran out of water. It's Box Office Trolls.
Box Office Trolls?
Yep. Okay. Nothing much has changed. Kung Fu Panda is number 1.
Yeah?
Kung Fu Panda 4, to be exact.
Last week I tried to talk about a thing where the villains' motivations didn't make any sense, but I didn't know the specifics of what it was.
Yes.
Her motivations is, no one would teach me Kung Fu because I was too small, and that is stupid because...
There's Mantis. Great. Really, really good writing right there.
Really, just showing that you know the lore and characters of your story.
Forget the production Bible.
Like, there's a million things you could have had her, like, just change it to be, like, sickly or something. Yeah. Anything. Didn't have to be small.
Or were they trying to make her, like, likable?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Apparently she's kind of just blasé. Like, she's okay. She's fine. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I don't care.
I don't even think I want to watch it because I don't want to listen to the Aquafina Fox. I already miss the Furious Five.
Nora has a very unique voice, doesn't she?
I just rewatched the original Kung Fu Panda because that one's good.
Yeah.
That one's got Jackie Chan.
Dune Part 2, number 2.
Yep.
And Arthur the King is number 3. That's the new movie from last week.
Oh, the one with...
Shang-Chi.
Ian McGregor is in it.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't see him on the poster.
You sure?
Yeah.
I even called him by his real name this time.
Yeah.
I actually thought his name was Ewan.
It's got Marky Mark and Simu Liu. And
is this the one with the dog?
Yeah, they go out hiking and find the dog, and the dog leads them to the top of the mountain. And
never mind. The one I'm thinking about
is
like
good movie.
Someone else, yeah.
And I was just like, okay. Kind of a weird movie to release during this time, but I could see the Easter tie-ins here.
I don't know what other time you could ever release something like this.
Any other time.
I guess.
Number 4, Imaginary.
Which one was that one? Oh, yeah, the horror one with A24.
Yeah, where the teddy bear is like a big scary monster.
Mm-hmm.
Cabrini.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. Love Lies Bleeding.
What is that?
It's an A24 film.
Oh, I should have guessed. Oh, it's a Valentine's Day one, isn't it?
I don't think it has much to do with Valentine's. I think it has more to do with like depression, sorrow, murder.
Great.
You know, all that fun stuff.
Yahoo!
Bob Marley, One Love.
Nice.
One Life. Number 9, The American Society of Magical Negroes.
Yeah. Apparently this one's not good.
So the critics have panned this one. I didn't know it was happening. It's starring Justice Smith.
Okay.
And, right?
I don't know.
Detective Pikachu. Dungeons and Dragons.
I know the actor. I think
That's his name.
I'm
right?
confident on the first name. I don't remember his last name.
I'm pretty sure it's Smith. Yeah, he's the main character for this. Apparently, there's nothing going on in the film. I was reading all the reviews, and they're like, "This is terrible. It's a waste of time. Don't even bother."
Have you heard this trope where there's usually a black character who exists to like gift the white main character their magical abilities? Shazam's actually a great example of this.
Okay.
And if you think about it, there's a bunch of others as well. I'll see if I can find like an article or something that goes into better explanation about it. But like when this was first getting announced, people were speculating on this being like a way to like turn this idea on its head or play with new tropes with it. But apparently no. Apparently the point of it is just a school to teach people to fill that role to give white people magic.
What?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I've only heard negative things about the movie.
I didn't read anything about magical.
Yeah. Isn't it
I know
magic?
I know it's in the title, but I was like, is it a magical school?
I don't know if it's literal magic. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have talked about it, but the ones I have seen have not liked it.
Well, apparently only worth $1.3 million since first weekend. It's pretty bad. And number 10, Ordinary Angels.
Wow.
Like I said, not much happened during the box office.
It's like Easter this week? No. Next week.
No.
It's spring this week. Spring was...
Yeah, it's spring break.
Yeah.
So you're either on spring break or you just got off spring break or you're about to go on spring break.
Because they can't all line up with each other.
God, no, they can't.
And they expect you, even if you don't have kids, to keep up with everyone's schedules.
I can tell you this. I know there is no spring break for the elementary kids right now. Wait, there is spring break for them.
Oh.
Because I can see them running around making their stupid noises and annoying me. There's no reason to scream at the top of your lungs.
They only know how to scream.
It's so annoying.
They don't understand projecting. How their lungs are tiny. Their lungs are minuscule compared to ours. Why are they so loud? How do they never stop?
Their pipes are so screeching and
Yep.
Grubby little fingers. And they're grabbing things and they're throwing things around.
Sticky little fingers covered in some sticky, gross, greasy substance.
And then they're happy to play with their Godzilla toy, and it's like, kid, you're not the first one. But yeah, I don't know if the colleges have had it yet.
I don't know.
I feel like they should have.
I feel like they should have too.
Yeah.
The colleges tend to have all their like days off like weeks after each other. So you just get like 3 weeks in a row where it's like 3-day schedules.
Yeah, they don't want all schools to just release all these children.
Yeah.
You know what chaos that would be? Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically all the elementary kids get a week, and then all the high school kids get a week, and then all the college kids get a week.
Yeah.
And that's how that usually works.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks of spring.
And then back to winter.
Yeah. So we watched a few things.
Yeah.
Let's round this up. Starting with Netflix's Damsel.
Yes. It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
So the reviews for it are incredibly misleading here because they trash it.
Yeah.
They say it's a garbage movie. It's not worth watching. The dragon and the CGI, blah, 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 blah. Look, if you like fantasy films and what? That's it.
Yeah, that's do you want just a cool little fantasy film?
Yeah.
Like, there's no big old lore. There's no shared universe. It's just a fantasy film. The beginning is a bit slow, but you do have to, like, establish this character.
Yeah.
But I also like how it's a great, rare example of, like, she's the female lead, and she kills the baddies and saves the day, but she doesn't have her big girl boss, I can do it, even if I'm a girl. Like, she doesn't even have moments like that with her, like, would-be prince in the beginning.
Yeah.
Where he'd be like, I didn't know a female could ride a horse. And she's like, I'm not like most girls. Like, that doesn't happen. She's still demure and wears her dresses and whatever, but she also is cool and saves the day.
Well, we do see that she likes to get her hands dirty.
Yeah, but she has to, like, given her upbringing. In their, like, run-down town that is cold all the time.
Yes, so basically our main character, oh man.
Millie Bobby Brown?
Millie Bobby Brown plays her. Elodie?
Elodie.
Elodie.
I just remember the dragon saying it.
So Elodie is a princess from a northern region, and they get an invitation to come to this other place where the prince wants to get married, and they're like, oh, this is going to be great because we're running out of money and all that. And a union between the two of you will make things great. Mm-hmm. Then you start to realize that there's something wrong when they get to this nice, beautiful new kingdom. And then it's in the trailer.
Yep,
they get married, and he picks her up, and then he just drops her down inside of a mountain.
And then from that point on, it's thrilling from then. Like, in the first 30 minutes. Where,
yeah, it's about 30 minutes.
But after that point, it's like, it's just an exciting chase of her trying to stay out of pace with the dragon.
One thing I would say is that 30 minutes, yes, it's to build things, but also all those characters that you're introduced to come back later. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of important to know who they are.
Yes.
And then, yes, we spent a majority of the film inside this mountain running away from the dragon.
And, like, doing cool, subtle world building. Like, they're, like, in the den of the dragon, there's all these birds.
Yep.
And when the dragon breathes fire, they all catch fire, too. So they're just flying through the air in this, like, hurricane of flames.
Yep.
And it's dope. It's like, yes, it's sad. We're supposed to feel sad about the birds, but then, like,
are we?
Well, there's also
It's a magical film.
There's also, like, all this other, this every location she goes to within the dragon's den is cool and creative and makes sense.
Yep.
Like, that's the best part.
And then you find out the dragon's motive, and you realize who the real villains are.
It's a little easy to predict.
My biggest problem is the dragon itself took way too much time.
Yeah.
It's a majority of the film is running and fighting the dragon. Mm-hmm. The resolution happens so quick. I would snap my finger, but I don't want to mess up the mic. Mm-hmm. It's that quick. And you're just like, oh, it's over. It's a good ending.
Yes.
Yeah, CGI, I mean, you can't get away from that. It's a giant dragon.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. I mean, they do a pretty good job with it.
Yeah.
They at least do something creative with the design. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not a boring-looking dragon.
There's other magical creatures in there? Or at least, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
The worms.
Yeah,
I like the worms.
The worms were fun.
She also has these weird moments where she can see other girls within the cave.
Yeah.
And there's more building right there. Mm-hmm. It was really good. I really liked it. It's what, an hour and a half?
Yeah, just a fun little fantasy time.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, if you dragged it out for 2 hours, I probably would have still enjoyed it.
Yes.
You know?
It was good. I liked it a lot. I would just watch it again, you know, if we needed something to watch.
Now, moving on to a better subject. The greatest competition show on television right now. MasterChef Junior.
Yeah. It's back. You remember how we were just talking about the children screaming all the time?
Yes.
Now let's put it on a TV show.
Oh, man. It is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like they're getting worse.
Uh-huh. And now they've started doing the thing in MasterChef Junior where they're only doing the one cook just like how MasterChef is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they used to do 2 cooks per episode. Now they don't. They don't do that anymore. They drag out the entire way through.
Yeah, they're gonna get, 12, 18 episodes out of this thing?
Yeah.
Because the finale has to be like 3 different parts for no reason. The weird thing is, at the same time on Fox, this is where it's televised, is also Next Level Chef Season 3.
Yeah.
There is a very blurry line between the way the children behave and the way the adults behave.
I mean, yeah. It's more blurry.
It's insane. Like, they'll catch scenes of the kids talking to each other, right? Because there's a lot of downtime when you're on set, right? And they're just having conversations and just like, I don't know if I did that right. And then you cut over to, like, Next Level Chef, and it's the same thing again. You're like, wow. 20 years later, and you guys still do the same stuff.
It's just, yeah.
The same dumb gimmicks.
Yep.
The same party poppers.
Big
lights.
spectacles and whatever. It's even more so with the kids version because they're trying to go all out because kids like big spectacles or whatever.
You know, honestly, I don't know why Next Level Chef hasn't done that.
I mean, they already do. They have the whole, like, moving platform
I
and
know.
everything.
I want that elevator to break so bad.
I'm just, like, sitting on pins and needles waiting for the one time someone's arm gets caught.
Yes.
'Cause that can
or someone falls down it.
Yeah. It just seems like an incredibly dumb idea and a big health and safety hazard.
And one of the scariest things is because it's a 3-tiered set, the camera can come in from the side because there's a whole... Just imagine half your house, or not, just like the western half of your house is just missing, and anybody can walk up and just watch you living.
It's like a dollhouse.
Yes, I was just thinking a better analogy was a dollhouse right here.
I wonder who grew up with dolls and who didn't.
I didn't have dollhouses. I had the dirt.
I didn't have a dollhouse, but my grandmother did. My great-grandmother? One of them did. And that was fun. That was it. I tried making one out of paper, and it wasn't the same.
Yeah. Anyways, there's this giant open hole in the side of this thing, and there's that one scene that they always televise, and it's from the first season, where Gordon gets mad because someone lit their pan on fire, and he runs out to the, like, balcony, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
And he's on the 3rd level, and he throws this flaming pan out.
It's always...
And it lands on the stage, and it's just like, dude... So stupid.
So, gotta be all over the top. And then it's so lovely when you go back to, like, the Great British Baking Show. And it's simple, and they're not screaming, and there's not stupid cuts and fireworks and explosions and Gordon acting like a buffoon. It's just people making food. And the judges tell them what they do right and what they do wrong. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. So, MasterChef Junior. I can't believe it's still around. There was a while there where I was like, it's never coming back.
It was a long while. Like, it's been a while since the last season came out, if I remember.
Last season was technically during December. Because they had that holiday special.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Another show that came back, Animal Control.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You were more of a fan of it than I was for the first season.
I remember enjoying the first season, and there are some jokes in there that I was getting a good chuckle at.
Uh-huh.
But now I guess the animals have become sometimes animal, if they can afford it, and other times it's just a shitty little puppet.
Yeah.
And they do, like, slapstick comedy.
Yeah, like they're goofy, cartoony things. Yeah,
like a raccoon punched a dude in the face and knocked him out.
Yeah.
And it's like... What?
The sloth unclipped his, like, carabiner for the climbing wall.
Yeah, and then he fell.
It's very goofy. And the animals are also barely in it. And that was the problem with the first season. Yeah. But now it's, like, really barely in it.
Well, I can't imagine how expensive a sloth wrangler would be.
I don't know why they made an animal control show when they couldn't afford to get the animals. When they couldn't get consistent animals and had to rely on puppetry.
What they should have done is just stayed with puppetry and kind of just made that the thing where the animals in their world are just weird puppets.
Yeah.
And then they have to do their wackadoo adventures.
Sure, because like the plot isn't even about the animals, it's about the characters doing things. They could have just been security guards. They could have literally just been anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they landed on animal control unit.
It's a weird, like, compromise for, like, cop, nurse,
Yeah.
buddy, office buddy, bromance.
Yeah.
That's one of the weirdest things to me. There's office scenes in there.
Yes.
And they're, like, constantly talking over each other because that's just their chemistry.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're animal control, shouldn't you be, like, out there catching things?
Yeah.
But then, like, we'll spend 30 minutes in the bar.
Yes.
It's such a weird show.
It's very weird.
The second season has taken some really bizarre turns from the first season. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. This might go the way of Fletch.
Dang.
Because I liked Fletch, and Fletch made itself better in the second season. But the ratings just weren't there, so they killed it.
Based on my history with sitcoms, the worse it is, the more seasons it's going to get.
Oh, I don't know how Joel McHale's getting old, dude.
Yes.
Okay, we found our new anime.
We did.
It is not Jujutsu. I'm sorry.
Sorry. We wanted to watch the movies were coming out and they were doing so well and so popular.
And I had to see what everyone was talking about. And it is
And
Demon Slayer. We're 4 episodes in. Mm-hmm. It's not going well.
No. What do you think?
When does it get good?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Like, the animation is pretty at times when he's using his sword.
He cries a lot.
Yeah.
But, okay.
He had to go through, like, a year and a half's worth of, like, samurai training or whatever.
Yeah, his family got killed by demons, and now his sister's possessed by one, and he's training hard, and he's got to get better, and he's just a kid. I get it. But he cries a lot. One of the weird things to me is when he cries, it is so over-animated.
Yes.
It's bizarre.
My biggest thing is he internally monologues nonstop. And is so annoying. Like, I get he has super smell. I get that that's a thing now. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing I was talking about with Liko, with Pokemon Horizons, where he's just, I can use my super smell to go down the mountain. Oh wait, oh no, I forgot. There's gonna be booby traps all over the mountain. That's part of my training. I gotta train and be harder. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can get past all the traps on the booby trap mountain. It's gonna be a hard part of my training. I don't think I can win. I'll use my super smell, and I'll use my super smell to smell the human parts of the booby traps. But I'm still not fast enough to dodge all of them. And I'm like, I can see. I see it on screen. You don't need to tell me.
Yep. Yep. I wonder who the original demographic for it was, or if that's even part of the manga.
I think it's
manga. Jesus, I'm so sorry.
Pretty sure it's Shonen Jump.
It is a shonen.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that just a thing with Japanese media where they just kind of monologue? Because now it's Pokemon and Demon Slayer.
Maybe.
I've noticed it. But it's not a thing in, like...
Dragon Ball Z.
I was thinking, Delicious in Dungeon.
He monologues.
I guess sometimes they do monologue, depending on which character we're focusing on.
They're talking about meat. Oh, I didn't put Delicious in Dungeon on here.
Yeah. that episode was crazy.
That was... Talk about a better anime.
Mm-hmm.
That was insane. Demon Slayer or Dragon Slayer, really. Mm-hmm. And whoa, I love that show.
Mm-hmm. It's so amazing.
The other day I was thinking about the mithril knife he shoved in the dragon's foot.
And I just stare at it.
He just stared at it while he's in the middle of a fight.
I keep thinking about the sirens and how, like, they were like, oh man, there's sirens. And then he started to sing the song. And they were like, oh, I don't want. And then the sirens left. And he's like, oh man, I never get to finish it.
So Demon Slayer, we're going to keep giving it shots. Apparently, I don't need to watch the movies because the movies are just recaps of the episodes.
Yeah, I've heard it gets better at episode, like, 12. That's what my sisters told me.
Cool. That is 3/4 of the way through the first season.
Yeah. Buckle up. Get ready to hear Tanjiro overly explain every single thing nonstop all the time forever. Forever and ever.
Apparently,
Like, even as he's killing a demon, he's like in his head monologuing it.
yeah.
I'm like, stop, just show me on screen.
Maybe it's to show the mental cost that it takes on the character.
I was thinking, because the thing with his training was that you don't focus. You overthink things.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, are we doing a thing where he's going to be, like, in his head constantly and monologuing, and as we, like, go forward and he trains, his monologuing is going to go away until eventually it's just, like, one word at a time of just him focusing on what he has to do? But I don't think they'll end up doing that.
Probably not. So everyone casted their votes for last week's question.
Oh, yeah, how'd that go?
Godzilla.
Really?
Yeah, Barbie was kind of close, but it was Godzilla.
I voted for Barbie.
I voted for Barbie too, but I haven't seen Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Now's a great time to love the big guy. He just became a commemorative sheriff?
Chief of Police.
Chief of Police, my bad.
Good job, buddy. Not bringing in a lot of people, but it's a good record.
Okay, I have no question this week.
I didn't think of one either.
Yeah.
I guess you're questionless this time. You're off the hook now.
Yep. Well, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this coffee break. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm blinking out.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.